Why, hello there. My name is Dr. Angelica. It is a pleasure to meet you. So what brings you into my office today? You're looking for a little ear pinning treatment? An otoplasty? Otoplasty. Okay, interesting. Well, in that case, I'm going to just give you a little bit of a clear breakdown as to what to expect in our visit today. I'm going to be examining your ears, seeing where exactly the issue might be arising from. I'm going to then just kind of examine our mode of treatment. We might be doing a resecting treatment, or we might be doing a cartilage sparing treatment. A cartilage resecting treatment will involve us removing some piece of your ear cartilage just so that way it sits easier on your head or against your head. An ear sparing or cartilage sparing treatment is one where we basically keep the cartilage as is, but we just sort of add in some permanent stitches and allow them to take care of the issue. Likewise, with the cartilage resecting treatment, we're going to put in some permanent stitches as well, but we'll just be removing some of the cartilage alongside it. So I'm going to now just put on some gloves. I'm going to be flashing a light in your ear just to kind of get a better gauge as to what might be going on. But before I do, I'm just going to give it a once glance over. If I am a little too rough or hard, please tell me, and then I'll soften up a little bit. Okay? Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to go in, and I'm just going to look at your ear real quick, and I'm just going to see what exactly I can spot in your ear. Okay, yeah. You see, this part of your ear in the back is called the conch. When there's a lot of cartilage in the conch, it can make the ears protrude a bit forward. Likewise, if the inner fold of your ear here towards the top, right about here, isn't quite as folded as mine is, for example, if it's a little less folded like that, where it's smoother, then that can also be due to the ears kind of poking out a little more than you'd like. With the cartilage resecting treatment, we would do that if there's an excess of cartilage in the conch area in the back of your ear. And with the cartilage sparing treatment, we would basically add a fold into your inner ear. The scar itself would be placed in the back of your ear for it to be basically seamless. We don't want anyone seeing it, so it'll look pretty natural, and it'll look kind of like an organic fold to your ear. So right now what I'm noticing from yours is that there is a little bit of excess cartilage in your conch area, so I'm just going to be seeing what we could do about that. Now, as is the case with most ears, they're not twins, they're cousins, so what might be going on with one ear might not be the case with the other ear. So I also do notice that there is a bit more of a fold right here in your inner ear, or lack thereof. So we're just gonna add a little bit of stitching just to kind of increase a fold in your inner ear. We're gonna remove some of that cartilage. We can do the whole procedure while you're still awake, give you a little bit of numbing solution. It'll be pretty quick and honestly relatively easy and speedy recovery. We'll give you a compression band so that way it keeps the ears in place. I can answer questions, comments, or concerns that you might have right now. What happens if the stitches pop? Okay, well, potentially, if it's pretty recent and the stitches pop, then you're gonna have to come back in for a touch-up, mostly because it'll probably pop back out the same way that it was before. However, if enough scar tissue has formed in that little crease that then kind of keeps it folded in on itself, then even if the stitches pop, we would hope that it would basically have maintained its form. Now I'm just going to go in and I'm going to examine your other ear just to see if there's any similarities to the previous ear. On this side, there doesn't seem to be too much presence of excess cartilage, but there is a lack of a fold. There seems to be some smoothness there, so we could always address that. Add a little bit of a stitch there, so that way it looks a little flawless. Okay. Well, now that we have our mode of strategy, I guess, I'm just going to do a quick little exam just to look at the consistency of your skin, just to see if there's anything that I might more deeply notice. And I'm going to be flashing my light in your ear, okay? Excellent. I just want to get a little bit of a better look in your ear just to see what exactly might or might not be going on. I'm just going to be moving your ear a little bit, and I'm going to be folding it backwards just a little bit. Okay. Oh yeah, it looks like it's going to be a pretty easy case. There's not going to be too many complications, if any at all, that arise. It seems pretty straightforward and standard. So I'm just going to go and look over here and see what it is exactly that I can kind of examine from your ear. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Excellent. Yeah. Everything looks pretty standard. There's nothing that's too out of the ordinary at all. I'm just going to be marking up where it is that I'm going to add the stitches, remove the cartilage. So, permit me one moment. I'm just going to take this little highlighter real quick. And I'm just going to do a couple of little markings right there. I'm just going to get this good. Excuse me. There we go. Okay. Now that that has been addressed, I'm going to be also assessing the cartilage in the back of your ear over here. We won't need to resect any cartilage on this ear, but we'll have to do it on this one. So I'm just going to go in. I'm going to create an inner fold on your inner ear. Okay, perfect. And I'm just going to bend this over, and I'm just going to. Okay. So now with that in place, I'm going to add a numbing shot, a little bit of anesthesia to both ears. That way you don't feel anything going on. The anesthesia will wear off. I'll prescribe you a couple of pain numbers. And then in about a week's time, you should be feeling a little more back to normal, if not even sooner, ideally. So permit me one moment. I'm just going to grab a little bit of this numbing solution. I'm going to prepare it real quick. And if you wouldn't mind just staying really still for me. It's going to be a very quick pinch. There we go. Very quick. It doesn't hurt anymore, right? It just feels a little uncomfortable, but it doesn't hurt. Okay, perfect. Okay. I'm going to just smooth this out like that, so that way it really just flows throughout your ear. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to be moving on to your other ear. I'm going to be injecting you with a little bit of anesthesia now, so I'm just going to be going over here. And I'm just going to, there we go, stay still. Doesn't hurt, right? Good. Okay, and there we go. And once again, I'm just going to get this a little bit more smooth. Okay, good. Now I'm going to test your numbness just to make sure that everything's kind of working as is. But before I do, I'm just going to be smoothing out the numbing solution throughout your ear. Okay, perfect. And so now, before we begin, I'm going to use a sharp pokey to kind of test your numbness. Tell me if you can feel it, and if you can't, then excellent. If you can, then I'll just inject a little more anesthesia, okay? A little more of the anesthesia. So I go in. I'm just gonna do a couple of little pokes. Did you feel that? No? How about that? No? Did you feel that? No? How about that? Perfect. Okay, excellent. Okay, now I'm going to be examining this ear, and I'm going to be seeing if you can feel any sensation on that ear. Okay? Okay, perfect. Stay still for me. I'm just going to... Did you feel that? No? Perfect. Did you feel that? No? Perfect. Did you feel that? Perfect. What about that? Okay, perfect. Well, in that case, I'm going to now just do a second little touch exam just to double confirm that you're not going to feel any of that pain. So I'm just going to use a softer texture, just this sort of fuzzy little figure. I'm going to sort of brush it over your ears, and I want you to tell me if you can feel it, okay? Okay, if you don't feel this one, then we're pretty much set to go. I just want to make sure that you're not going to feel any pain. So I'm going to go on this side real quick, and can you tell me if you feel this? Could you feel that? No? Okay, good. How about this? No? Okay, good. How about that? No? Okay, good. How about this? Okay, no. Congratulations. Good. Okay, so that ear is pretty much ready to go. Now we're just gonna do a little double check with this ear and see how that goes. So give me one moment. I'm just gonna go in and... Could you feel that? No? How about this? Could you feel that? No? Okay, how about this? Could you feel that? No? Okay, one more. How about this? Could you feel that? Okay, perfect. Well, in that case, we're ready to go. I'm going to start with this ear because it's a little more of a simple procedure. I'm just going to use some permanent stitches to just clamp onto that fold, make sure that it's nice and seamless looking. And then I'll be moving on to this process, which might be a little more tricky. Not tricky, but it's going to require a couple more steps. So I'm going to go into this side, and I'm just going to... It's a very simple procedure. It's really not anything intimidating. I'm just going to go in, and I'm just going to do a couple of stitching onto your ear. Okay, it's working. Let me just do it again. Okay, perfect. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Great. Tell me, did you feel any pain? None at all? Perfect. Well, that ear is already done. It's already been pinned to the side of your head. So, once again, remember, be careful with your stitches. If they pop out, return, and we'll give them a touch-up. But now we're going to do the more complicated, side. So I'm going to need you to just turn to your left, my right. Just turn that way. Thank you. I'm just going to go in, and I'm going to do a little bit of an incision. Just remove the cartilage. There we go. Are you able to feel anything? This should be the most painful part. So if you're not feeling anything, great, golden. Okay, I'm going to go in. I'm just going to do it. Now I'm going to be doing a couple of stitches just to close up that piece of cartilage and add that extra fold. So, excuse me one moment. I'm just going to go in. I'm going to do a couple little... Okay, perfect. This is just to close up the cartilage. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Okay. And now to add in that extra fold from where I kind of added my marks. So I'm just going to go in. I'm going to do this extra little fold, put in place, and okay, perfect, okay, perfect, perfect, okay. Just going to look at the symmetry between the two ears. Look forward for me, please. Just keep looking forward at me. That way I can kind of get a good gauge as to how symmetrical you're looking right now. Okay. Your ears look pretty symmetrical, if not, I mean, nothing is really perfectly symmetrical. You can vainly attempt it, but as far as symmetry goes, pretty much symmetrical. It looks exactly the same. They pin down against your head so they're not poking out. They look very classic. So I'm just now going to erase those little markings that I made on your ear. Just clean you up a little bit. There we go. Clean you up a little bit more. Okay, perfect. And now for the other ear, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to clean you up a little bit more. Okay, perfect. All right, excellent. Well, let's just check. Okay, so I'm going to be prescribing for you a little bit of painkillers now, okay? These are going to help you recover a little bit once the anesthesia starts to wear off. So I'm going to just jot down a little prescription for you. I'm going to need you to take these sparingly. I don't want you to take copious amounts. So, and if you don't need them, if it just feels a little bit tingly, a little bit warm, then I would say just skip the medication altogether. The only reason you would want to take it is if you feel like there's like a bite going on in your ear and it's disturbing your sleep, or it's sort of distracting you from your work. At that point, then yes, I would consider taking the medication if you need it. Otherwise, I would say just skip it altogether. Okay, there's your prescription. As for your recovery time, I'm now going to give you a little bit of a compression band. So, I'm going to now just wrap this over your face. Let me adjust it a little bit. I'm going to just adjust it a little bit more. Towards the top of your head, and now towards your ears. Again, and now towards your chin. Perfect. Okay. Does it feel pretty even all around? Not too tight, not too light? Okay, perfect. We want it to be tight. We don't want it to be so tight that your blood is constricted or that you feel like you're kind of a zit about to pop or something. So, with that being said, you're all taken care of. I would recommend sleeping on your back, not on your side. I would recommend obviously showering as usual, but just maintain that compression band around your head as much as possible, including when you're going to sleep or when you're in your leisure time at home, when you're not at work, or when you're not doing anything necessarily important. I would try to keep the compression band on as much as possible. Obviously take it off when you're taking a shower, but I would also be mindful to be careful of your stitches. That way there's no incident where they might be popping. For example, if you're scrubbing your hair, I would say be mindful not to be too aggressive around your ears. Very common sense, sort of simple cautions that we can kind of keep in mind to keep your ears nice and safe, as the stitches themselves are still quite fresh and the scar tissue has not yet developed to maintain its form. Once again, as previously iterated, if the stitches were to pop, which might become evident whether it be by sound or sensation or just appearance, then please obviously call our office as soon as possible, make a schedule or make an appointment. We will try to book you in as quickly as possible, just so that way we can touch you up and make sure that all of those stitches are nice and clean, healing quite nicely, and also freshened up and retightened, just to kind of maintain your appearance. But to avoid that, just maintain proper caution. I would recommend not using your compression band, or at least taking a little more of a break from your compression band, maybe starting 1 month from now. But until that point, I would try to keep it as more of a habit. Aside from all of that information, is there any questions, comments, or concerns you might have for me? None at all? Well, excellent. In that case, enjoy your new ears, and I hope that you enjoy your lovely appearance. And once again, if anything goes a little bit awry, then don't hesitate to contact me. It was a pleasure. Take care.